Triumph recently revealed their new Daytona 660, and it seems to get a lot of hate, especially from the original Daytona 675 fans. And in today's video, we're going to dive in and compare the specs of both bikes to understand what truly sets these two Daytonas apart from each other. Just by looking at the key specs, it's clear that despite sharing the Daytona name, these two bikes are completely different. The Daytona 675 cranks out an impressive 129 horsepower at the crank, 34 more than the 660, and is also able to generate around 5 Newton-meters more torque. Not only that, the 675 is also 11 kilos lighter, and ultimately, with a massive advantage in power output and weight, the 675's power-to-weight ratio easily beat the 660s by around 44% higher. But of course, this isn't really surprising, given that the Daytona 675 is a track-oriented bike and supposed to go head-to-head with supersports like the Ninja ZX6R and Yamaha R6, which come with a much heftier price tag. While on the flip side, the Daytona 660 is more of a budget-friendly everyday sport bike. It's all about versatility, practical, comfort, and affordability, even if it means sacrificing a bit of performance. With all that being said, the Daytona 660 actually isn't bad at all when you pit it against rivals in the same price range. It holds its own quite well against Yamaha R7, CBR 650R, Ninja 650, or GSX-8R. Most of the hate for the Daytona 660 comes down to its name, because it doesn't live up to the Daytona name and lineup, and people will automatically compare it with superior 675. If Triumph had gone by another name, like maybe Trident RR, it might have been better received, considering it shares the same engine as the Trident 660. Under the fairings, both Daytonas are powered by a liquid-cooled DOHC inline-3 engine with a conventional 240-degree firing interval, similar to what you find on the MT-09 and MV Agusta bikes. So there's no Triumph signature T-plane crank yet, not even on the newer 660. And true to their names, the Daytona 675 boasts a 675cc engine, 15cc more than the Daytona 660, and they are paired with a 6-speed wet clutch transmission packed with assist and slipper. But the 675, which is designed for more aggressive and track-oriented riding, gets a close-ratio gearbox, which demands more frequent shifting but offers better control to keep the engine within its optimal power band. Notably, the more high-revving and performance-oriented Daytona 675 gets a higher compression ratio and special treatment, including titanium intake valves and nitride-coated piston pins. In terms of features, this is the only area where the Daytona 660 is able to outperform the 675. Apart from ABS, the 675 lacks ride-by-wire or traction control. Only an optional quickshifter for upshift only is available. This is understandable because the 675 was developed over a decade ago, with the last major update dating back to 2013, an era before the manufacturers weren't as concerned about pleasing every potential customer by cramming a lot of tech into bikes, especially on budget-friendly and low to mid-size bikes. The more expensive 675 also comes with higher spec parts. They feature perimeter-type frames, but the 675 uses aluminum instead of steel, which contributes a lot to its lighter weight, paired with an aluminum swing arm that has an adjustable pivot point. When it comes to suspension, the 660 relies on a non-adjustable upside-down fork from Showa, whereas the 675 boasts fully adjustable forks from KYB. As for the higher trim, our model is equipped with the top-shelf Öhlins NX30. The same goes for the rear suspension. For stopping power, they are fitted with 4-piston dual radial calipers that share the same disc diameter. However, their model gets upgraded brakes with a Brembo caliper instead of a Nissan. Tire sizes are the same for both the front and rear. The more racy 675 gets a higher seat height and a more compact size, with a 50mm shorter wheelbase and also a steeper rake angle, which makes it feel more nimble and agile. The riding position is also more aggressive, with a lower clip on bar and higher positioned foot pegs. If the 660 doesn't quite meet your expectations, the closest thing you can get to the original Daytona might be the 2019 Daytona 765 Moto2 edition. It's loaded with high-end parts and built for racing, but unfortunately, they only made 1,430 of them. So the next option up would be the Triumph Street Triple RS. It's also got a bigger 765cc engine and shares the same frame and subframe as the OG Daytona, though it'll set you back more than the 660.